Hey guys, this is Zach Cummings, UFC welterweight, middleweight, and light heavyweight. Check out Hungover Hand Right.
Welcome back to Hungover Hand Right. My name's Jonathan, that's Chad, and we're here to talk some UFC 296. A lot of big performances and some really not so good performances. And we're gonna go through each fight. We're gonna hit on every fight, and then obviously we're gonna stop and talk about the big ones and what's next for the winners. So strap in, here we go. Chad, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. First up, heavyweight, opened the card. Shamil Gaziev got a big knockout over Martin Buday. UFC seems pretty high on this guy.
Yeah.
And he proved it.
Yeah, you come out banging like that, you make a name for yourself. People start getting some eyes on you.
The heavyweight division is kind of, side note, they're kind of killing it right now. Heavyweights are more fun than they've been in a long time. So
yeah, kind of talk of the town right now.
Add Shamil Gaziev to the list there. Next up, Andre Fili, guy that we all like a lot. Went out there, put the hands on Lucas Almeida.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, first of all, I didn't know Lucas Almeida was that big. He's a big dude. Fili's usually the bigger guy, and he wasn't in this fight, but he just put the hands all over him.
Oh, yeah. He just kind of overwhelmed him, and, he did his thing, dude. Everybody likes touchy-feely, right?
Yeah. This was definitely a get back on track fight for him, and really potentially the nail in the coffin for Almeida.
Yeah. I like him. I became even bigger fan of Fili because, rides Harleys and likes big booty Latinas. So
yeah. Legendary.
Yeah.
Tagir Ulanbekov submits Cody Durden. Cody Durden, a tough dude who has beaten pretty good guys, and Tagir kind of has been the perceived, I think, as like the not as good version of like all his teammates, the Russian teammates and everything, Islam, Khabib, all those guys. And people kind of thought, oh, this guy's not really as good of a grappler as him, and probably not going to be up in the title picture. And then he goes in there against Cody Durden and takes him down and submits him.
Yeah, Cody's tough dude. Like you said, it's beating some names, but sometimes it's you can tell this is probably where he's at. Just sometimes if he's on everything, if he's on his game, he can beat some people, but realistically, he's probably where he's at. Just you're going to be fighting some tough dudes. You're going to have some tough nights at the office and not really get over that hump per se.
Yeah. He's definitely gonna bring it every time. So I think the UFC they want to keep him around as long as possible.
Definitely.
But
for sure,
he's got a ceiling, and I think we've pretty much seen what that is at this point.
Mm-hmm.
On to the prelims. Ariane Lipski, dude. I've been a fan of this girl for a while, and I'm not really a big fan of Casey O'Neill. And Ariane, I don't know if Casey looked bad or if Ariane just looked that good. I'm kind of leaning towards Ariane looking really fucking good and hitting her a lot and really hard.
Yeah, Casey almost seems like, at least the last few fights that we've watched, she's almost looks like she's not in it. Almost like she doesn't. It's like she doesn't want to be there. Really, it's weird.
She looked in this fight, at least she looked stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
Yep. She was a step behind the whole time. Got rocked really bad. I'm stoked for Ariane Lipski because I've always liked her, and that was the biggest performance of her UFC career right there.
Yeah. Yep. She's coming out. She wanted to make a statement and did it.
Next up, Cody Garbrandt back on track, knocks out Brian Kelleher in the first round. Kelleher was beating up the leg, as I'm sure the game plan was for him to do. But Cody started putting combos together, and that's when he's the most dangerous, is when he flurries his hands.
Yeah, obviously we've seen what Cody at his best can do. Become a champ and be put on one of the best performances you've seen in that division. In a champ fight or a title fight, I should say. But he fell on that skid, fought some killers. Got into those little wars or scraps, and he got himself touched up and knocked out. And then everybody was thinking he's done. And I don't know. I've been a big fan of Garbrandt. I like his style. I love, sure he talks a lot of shit like most guys in the fight game do, but I think he's gotten better in each of his fights since going on that little losing streak. And, just going back and even watching clips of the fight, you can see the combos are looking more crisp, like of old. He's gotten a little bit more confidence back. And I think he's what I would do if I were him is, start maybe one or two more fights of building your confidence back and doing this like you used to do. But I think he's I don't know if you saw it, he calling out he wants to fight Deiveson Figueiredo. That's a fight I'd love to watch.
Yeah.
But because I think it'd be a banger. But if Cody, gets into those, because Deiveson proved against Rob Font that he's got power, he's not slow, and he's still going and has that tank, and will keep going. And Cody will, if he gets hit by Figueiredo, it could be, donezo for him. And I obviously don't want that. We know Fig's a stud, and he proved it. We were all not sure what it was going to be when he went up, but he proved it against Font.
Yeah, I mean, Cody's whole, and this is the case for a lot of fighters, but I think Cody more so than anybody, his whole run in the UFC has been a lot of it's been based on confidence. He was on top of the world, undefeated, fought Dominic Cruz, he went in there feeling like there's not a person on earth that can beat me.
Mm-hmm.
And he did what he did. And then it just seemed like he gets knocked out once and drops confidence down, knocked out again, drops it even further. So like you said, and I agree, that it would be good for him to probably not fight Fig yet. And I don't even know if the UFC is going to want to do that anyways, but I think he like you said, he needs to build his confidence a little more and get on a win streak again, because I feel like once he gets that momentum going, he could be really dangerous.
Oh yeah, definitely. And he seems like he's fighting a lot smarter. At least his last few fights, he's not putting himself in situations where he has to turn it into, some schoolyard brawl, and he's just throwing haymakers, and then he's the one that gets caught. And he's been caught by some guys who are killers. Guys that can change your career. So I mean, now his jaw's probably not what it used to be, but he knows that he can still bang, and of course that's where that confidence comes from. I have this in my hands still. I still got these God-given grenades for hands. So, but I think to see the Cody of old, we need to put those combos together. Be light on your feet, move around, be smart like you have in the past. But I need, I think, one or two fights of some solid guys, but maybe move up, further and further, kind of build your way back up, like you said, get on a streak, a nice little streak, and then, see how it plays out, call out somebody big.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if, I mean, MMA math, but like Rob Font beat Cody, Fig beat Rob Font. So I just don't know if Fig would even want to do that. Mm-hmm. And that's probably good for Cody. I mean, let's not throw him up there. I mean, he goes from pretty much the bottom of the bottom guy, Kelleher, to like top 5 guy. I just don't know about that.
Yeah, so it's a tough ask, but I think that is that championship, mentality of, I've been there, I've won a championship, I want to get back there. And can't remember how old Garbrandt is, but I don't know if it could be the, clock is ticking kind of thing. I need to get up there quick.
Yeah, he is 32, so yeah. Not super old. Yeah, I mean, he still has the speed's there, and obviously, like you said, he knows he hits hard. I think he just needs to fight like he's a fast guy, because he is, and just in, out, and like he did against Kelleher, let the hands fly, but don't focus so much on just that one shot. You know, be fast.
It almost like he fell in love with his hands too much, and the fact that I can plant my feet here in the ground and sit on a punch. And you know, when you get into that, you're playing with fire, and sometimes you're going to get burned. You know, and he got burned quite a few times in a row, and it wasn't just like he got dropped and like he got starched pretty good, and wore some shots afterwards. So I mean, that does damage over time, and he's not. I'm not saying he's super old, but you know, when you get towards that age, or especially in that division and those lighter weight classes around 35, that's where the tide starts to turn.
Yeah.
You know, you get slower. Everybody else is way faster, and you're 2 or 3 steps behind.
I'd like to see him stay active, and that's obviously easier said than done, just the timing and the injuries and everything, but I'd like to see him get back in there quick.
No, yeah. No, I mean, I love the fact that he wants to fight him at the beginning of next year, but maybe not Fig right now. Let's go maybe a step or 2 below. Win that one. You win that one out. If you knock someone out like you just did Kelleher, then we can talk. Then we're like, okay, now you look like you're dancing around again. You know, you're still your cocksure kind of guy, you know, cocky, confident dude, but you're fighting a smarter fight now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the rankings, like Fig's number 8 now at bantamweight. I like, how about Chris Gutierrez? He just lost like 2 weeks ago. He's 15.
Yeah. You could do that. And I think that, honestly, that's not a bad matchup either. I mean, especially what we've seen out of Chris the last few times.
Yeah.
He hasn't really shined, and, you know, doesn't like to throw punches. Apparently, I mean, I know you're great at kicks, but you have 2 hands for a reason.
Yeah.
Let's use those 2, you know?
Yeah. I think Gutierrez makes the most sense because right above it's 15 Gutierrez, Umar 14, Ricky Simone 13, Martinez. I mean, it gets tough quick in that division. So
for sure.
I think Gutierrez, or maybe Ricky Simone if he's ready to go, maybe him.
Yeah.
So anything else on that fight?
No, I'm happy for Cody. I'm a big fan, so I hope he does come back and get back into the, you know, top 5 and start showing his championship level again.
Mm-hmm. Next one, this was a good one. This is a crazy war. Irene Aldana wins a decision over Karol Rosa. It was basically 0 defense and one girl throwing hands only and one girl throwing low kicks only. Basically, is kind of how it played out.
Oh yeah, I saw the pictures. They shared the pictures of her legs, and it was gnarly, like just black. It wasn't no black and blue. It's just black, like almost dead legs. She's laying in a bed, just, I mean, messed up. It looked awful.
It was a great fight, and I don't want to criticize either of them because they just fucking took years off their life in there for 15 minutes. But Karol Rosa just kept spamming that inside low kick and just getting crushed because of it, like over and over. And she just stuck with it the whole fight. And I'm like, man, like you're getting caught off of that kick. Like maybe let's change it up a little bit, you know?
Yeah, throw something in front of it, you know, get her off her toes. She's obviously caught on.
Yeah.
You're going to throw this. Let's try not to wear so many in the face.
Right. Still a great fight. I mean, I've seen people saying potential fight of the year, and obviously recency bias. It's probably got a better shot now because it was the last card of the year.
For sure. Yeah. You know, what have you done for me lately? Kind of fans out there. At least MMA fans usually are.
Mm-hmm. Anything else there?
No, it was a great fight. Some warriors right there going at it. It was gnarly. The damage afterwards. The pictures they took was crazy.
Speaking of crazy, Alonzo, Menifield, Dustin, Jacoby, kind of lackluster early. Dustin just doing what he does and just touching, and then he got cracked like 3 times. Yeah. And ultimately, it came down to the 3rd round, which he was winning, and he got dropped and lost because of it.
Mm-hmm.
He lost the round that he needed to win because he got dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And Menifield's gas tank held up. I still wish, I said this on the preview, I wish Dustin would have wrestled him early.
Mm-hmm.
slowed him down a little bit.
I think that has to do with Dustin's, confidence in his kickboxing, and he, thought maybe he could put this guy away and tire him out that way. But Menifield's, I picked him to win. I had him to win, and I thought he was going to knock Dustin out. And he comes out there and his tank holds up. That was the only thing that worried me was his tank. Well, he's going to get tired, then Dustin starts picking him apart, and he held up. Obviously it's only a 3-round fight, but still, I just thought Menifield's got that power that some people are just born with dynamite in their hands, and any punch can just put you down. And I knew there's always that chance in any fight, but Menifield knows what he's doing too.
Yeah. I mean, there was just such a massive. It looked like they were in different weight classes, like just purely based on the power in their hands. Obviously, Dustin, he doesn't throw 100% into everything like Menifield does, but it was just, Dustin was touching him plenty, and it really didn't have a whole lot of an effect. And Menifield just waited on that left hook, and a lot of times when guys do that, it doesn't work for him when they're just waiting on the big shot. But he would just slip and crush him with that left hook.
Yeah, obviously Dustin's a vet and knows what he's doing, but I don't know. Maybe I would think I don't know if it was a pride thing or something. You would have thought he would wrestle more. At least that would be more in the game plan earlier.
You gotta. We know Menifield's a big, muscled up dude, and you got to try to take that away from him somehow. Take the cardio out of the equation for him.
Yeah. And
he just didn't. He played the kickboxing game like he is good at, but it cost him here.
Yeah, that's you hate to see it, and obviously we don't know what's next for Dustin. I think he's up there, so he's in age. So I don't know what's next for him.
Yeah, he's 35.
Yeah, so he's at the latter end, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right, you ready for the main card?
Yes, sir.
Josh Emmett knocks out Bryce Mitchell. Just, I don't even know. Bryce didn't even really have a chance to do anything.
Yeah, no, he even came out and said after, on his Instagram, it's like, I didn't even get to land a punch. I'm disappointed myself, but I'm happy. He went on. I'll get to be build my home and be a dad and all that. But he said that he kind of just didn't fight his fight. He didn't put pressure on like he normally does. Didn't try to wrestle. He didn't get a chance to wrestle.
Yeah.
And then, like I thought was going to happen, I thought Josh was going to knock him out. I know Bryce is tough dude, but I don't care how tough you are. You wear a shot like that against Josh Emmett, you're going to sleep.
Yeah, and Emmett just stepped in and let that right hand go. There wasn't much deception involved.
No. It's just a hard right hand straight to the right to the eyeball.
Yeah, and obviously the convulsions and stuff were pretty scary.
Scary. Yeah, you don't want to see that. And I like the respect thing Emmett did afterwards, saying, he's like, Bryce is a good guy. I didn't like seeing that. Even though there was a picture of him screaming at Bryce over his dead body, but he's like, yeah, I got excited. I knocked somebody out. Well, who wouldn't? You can't blame the guy. Obviously, you don't want to see that guy go into convulsions. And the whole broadcast, oh my gosh, he's shaking. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, I think. Hindsight's 20/20, obviously, but I think it was a big mistake to come in on short notice.
Yes.
Against Josh Emmett. Again, that's obvious to say now. I get it, but that's a tough matchup. A guy who is a good wrestler, at least good to take down D. It's going to be hard to take him down, and he can kill you with one shot. That's just tough on short notice.
Yeah, respect to Bryce for doing it, but I just don't think his striking is up there with these guys. I just don't think. Sure, he's tough. He's nasty on the ground. His wrestling's good, but Bryce isn't all that big for that division either. He's not going to muscle some guy down. It'd be different if he was some behemoth wrestler and didn't have very good hands, but great on the ground. But he's not going to bring Josh Emmett by sheer will. He would have to. I mean, maybe in a different camp, Bryce is probably a little bit different. Say they ever fight again, which I mean it's possible, but it's going to be a while if it does happen. But I just think that it wasn't the wisest decision, and obviously, like you said, hindsight's 20/20.
He just didn't have to take the fight. I mean, he's coming off a win. Like, it's not like he has zero leverage and is like, I'm coming off a loss, I gotta get it back. Like, he won his last fight, so it's like he didn't have to take the fight.
Yeah,
but again, credit to him, because it's he saved Emmett a fight, basically. Like, Emmett wouldn't have fought if it wasn't for him, but it's just
and it would have been two fights right off the main card that would have got canceled.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure there was probably a little bit of incentive thrown in there for him for doing it and stuff. Like, I'm sure they take care of the guys that do step in short notice. And
yeah, for sure. Anything else there?
No, I mean, feel bad for Bryce, getting knocked out, but I just saw it coming. As soon as he announced, I was like, oh no, I don't think this is going to go the way you think it's going to go, buddy.
I could not believe the odds. I mean, I picked Bryce to win, but the odds were crazy.
Yeah.
It was like minus, wasn't it like 2 something?
I think so.
230.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Short notice?
Yeah, short notice, and you're the favorite like that. That's
And I mean, and the Ige fight was not. I mean, he didn't dominate Ige. I mean, he barely beat him.
Yeah, no, his face, his eyeball was shut up. Like,
yeah,
he got hit, and Ige hits hard, but he don't hit like Emmett. You get hit by Emmett, you go to sleep. It's night.
A lot of people lost their ass on Bryce, apparently, because obviously the odds move because people are betting on him.
For sure.
So, all right, let's move on. Paddy Pimblett, Tony Ferguson. Paddy, I thought, looked a lot better in this. Now, anymore, looking good against Tony doesn't seem to be that difficult for a guy in the top 15, basically.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I mean, he went to his grappling, which is his bread and butter. I mean, he's a really good grappler, and he touched him on the feet early, and then he went to the grappling and dominated him there too.
Yeah, I think Dylan alluded to this, and maybe even you, that I think it's kind of a lose-lose for Paddy. Like, you go out there and beat Paddy, oh, he's a loser, or you go out there and beat Tony, rather, and there people are going to be like, oh, he's on a 8-fight skid. Oh, and then if you lose to him, you're like, you lost to a guy on a 7-fight skid, like, a guy who's looked, on a shell of himself lately. And I think it was lose-lose, but I think Paddy did look good. Striking looked a little bit better than what we've seen. I'm not saying he, is light years better. He still leads with his chin up, and that might come to catch him here when he fights some guys that can put some stuff together with some power. And you don't have I know Paddy's tough and he can wear some shots, but like I said, I don't care how tough you are. You get hit by the right person, then you're gonna have a chance to fight it off. You just go to sleep.
Yeah, and there's definitely some hitters in the top of that division. So I think he needs to get back to the grappling as much as possible, because that's his thing.
Yeah, and he's pretty overwhelming with the grappling. I mean, he's trying to do damage. He's doing that. Tony was fighting pretty well off his back with elbows, and once he kind of regained his thoughts and everything once he got dropped. But you would have thought Paddy might have finished Tony there, but Tony's tough. He turns into a zombie almost and just keeps going. Might have been the David Goggins hell week he went through. Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, I just think he's never been that great of an athlete, like a pure athlete. He's never hit the hardest, and I'm talking about Tony here.
Yeah,
he's never hit the hardest. He's never been the fastest. He's just been really tough and durable, and just his will, you can't break it, and that's still the case. But it's like, now that he's older, he's already not a great athlete. It gets worse from there. Yeah. Like, it's just like I don't know how he finishes anybody now. Like, how's he going to finish somebody? What's he going to do?
He sure he's tough and the will, that iron will he's always shown to just keep going. Father Time catches up to you just like it's going to catch up to us all. And especially if you're in the fight game, it catches up to you a lot sooner than everybody else.
Yeah.
So, and it sucks because Tony's a legend. You don't want to see that, especially him going on 8-fight skid. What is he going to do next? Like, I've heard rumblings of people talking about, he could go to bare knuckle. Do you want to see a legend like that go to bare knuckle? Or do you want to – will he stay in the UFC? And Dana's kind of like, I want to see him retire, but can he retire? Like, is he set for life?
Will he retire?
Yeah, he's already said nobody's going to tell me to retire.
That's the whole. This is a big conundrum that, like, I kind of feel for the UFC with this one thing is that, essentially, like what you said, like Tony's not. If you cut him, he's gonna go get brain damage somewhere else.
Yeah,
and then if you keep him, he's just probably gonna keep losing to everybody.
Yeah, and so they could probably just milk him for whatever he's got left and just keep throwing him out there to the wolves.
Yeah,
and. Sure, I'm sure Tony can go down and beat some guys that, lower 50, top 15, stuff like that. They can get up. He can beat some guys still, but he just looks, I don't know. It's something's different about, and it could just be the Father Time coming to it. He just looks slower. He doesn't seem to be able to put his combinations together as quick. He doesn't want to almost. He used to when you watch Tony, like when he would do all this crazy stuff, different combos, weird, throw the sand in your face, all over the place. Now it's kind of like, I don't know. It almost looks like an injured animal out there. It just seems like, and it's sad to say, but it's not what the Tony we've all seen.
It looks like he wants to do all those things, but he just is too slow to do it now.
Yeah.
He starts putting something together and then he just gets cracked. Like he's not fast enough to do it. He moves weird now. It's just, I don't know. He just doesn't have the style that's built for winning into your late 30s or 40s.
No, it's just how you do that is if you've got, dynamite in your hands and you can you're a smart cerebral fighter and you can pick your shots and, angles and shit like that. But
defense,
defense, move your head. Tony's kind of just stand in front of you and through some weird shit at you, but he's not coming at you fast anymore. It's just, it's sad to see, really. I hate to see it, but then you look at it, like I said, and what you were alluding to is like, what's he going to do? Where's he going to go? Like him going to bare knuckle, I'm sure a lot of people would like to see it. But the true hardcore MMA guys, I don't think they want to see that. They don't want to see Tony go over there and get. I think he goes over there and gets busted up because they're not going to give him some PetSmart fucking cashier. They're going to put him against somebody that's been there a while, had 10 fights in BKFC, and they're going to piece him up.
Yeah. I hope honestly, I hope the UFC keeps him, and that's 0-7. Like, that's weird to say, but I hope they just keep him around and obviously have him fight some guys that aren't on the top 15 level because, like you said, he's going to, even if he wins a bare knuckle fight, it's going to be after rounds of just out toughing somebody.
Yeah,
they're gonna get tired of punching him, and then he might come back and win or something.
Yeah, he might just keep punching them, and they finally get tired, and then they call it that way. He wins a decision. He's not going to be able to use what Tony's good at, his elbows, his craftiness of doing stuff on the ground. It's BKFC, and Tony's not like a crazy good boxer. Like he's not bobbing and weaving his head and stuff. I'm going to trade with you, but guess what? I'm 39 years old, and I've been knocked unconscious several times and had my head bashed in a bunch.
That stuff isn't his shit's not going to work against an Eddie Alvarez or a Mike Perry or anybody who's a technical boxer.
Yeah. No, he goes in there against Mike Perry, Eddie Alvarez. It's going to be a bloodbath, and it's not going to be good.
Anything else on that fight?
No.
Paddy, we'll talk about what's next for Paddy here in a minute, but is that it for the fight?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a good fight. Paddy did a good job. Did his thing. I know, like I said, it's kind of a lose-lose for Paddy. If he wins, you're like, oh, he didn't do enough. We kind of wanted to see more. If he goes out there and finishes Tony, it's you want to see it, but then again, you have that look of, oh, it was you fighting a guy at a shell of himself who probably shouldn't have been out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Tony's tough to finish, but he should have finished him probably.
Yeah.
But let's move on. Shavkat and Wonder Boy. Shavkat, I mean, I kind of thought going into this that the Jeff Neal fight was a little bit of an anomaly as far as how close it was. And people, that at least the perception of like, oh, is this guy not like as good as we thought? Because he had a close one with Jeff Neal. He got back to what he does best in this fight and dominated.
Yeah, the Wonder Boy really had zero answer. He got up a couple times, wasn't, and it sucks because, Shavkat apparently did say he wanted to stand and trade with Wonder Boy to prove a point, but apparently got hurt, rolled his ankle real bad before the fight, and apparently I guess that means you got to grapple and wrestle. I don't know.
You don't use your ankles doing that?
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me, but I'm sure you heard it, but that's not the reason why you grappled. You did it because that's what you fucking do. And you're going against a guy who's not very good at that. So, Wonder Boy's done well with his takedown D, but if you're 18-0 and you finished everybody, your plan is, okay, I'm going to do what I've done that's got me here, and I'm going to get your back, and I'm going to choke you out.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I don't think the fact that Wonder Boy is so old, I don't think that takes away from the win, in my opinion, at all. Opposite of Paddy and Tony, I think this is like you're the first guy to submit like Wonder Boy. Like,
he became the first guy.
He's still Wonder Boy right now. He's not maybe as good as he was, but he's pretty close still.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's in great shape. He looks good. He's training all the time. I mean, Wonder Boy is still Wonder Boy, or Dylan likes to call him Wonder Man because he's older now. But I mean, Wonder Boy's still got some things. Now, obviously, losing this, he's not reaching a title anymore. If Wonder Boy comes out and say he starched Shavkat, that'd be insane. Yeah. Guess who's fighting for a title? Wonder Boy is.
They'd be like, we could probably fuck Bilal one more time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're talking about Shavkat for potentially next.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've heard seen rumors that Shavkat's they're going to fuck Bilal, and they're going to, all right, Bilal, you want a title shot, you got to fight Shavkat.
I really, and I like Shavkat, but I really hope that doesn't happen because Bilal was told if he beats Gilbert on short notice. Was he on short notice or was Gilbert? I can't remember now.
I don't remember. I know Gilbert got hurt that first round.
But the point is that he was told, like, you get the shot if you beat Gilbert.
Yeah.
So if Bilal, they fuck him again, like...
Yeah. As much as I'm not even a big fan of Bilal, like, sure, he's a good fighter and all that, I'm just not on that train. I know we joke around, call him the falafel and all that, but I think he's probably should be the one that fights for the title next.
Yeah. You can give Shavkat one more. I mean, he's how old is he? He's young.
28.
20. Why does it not say it? 1 second. 29.
29.
Yeah. So I mean, point is that you don't have to rush him. I mean, you can give him.
So who do you throw at Shavkat then, as say a title eliminator?
So let's go to the rankings real quick. Leon, Kamara, Bilal, Colby, Gilbert, Shavkat. Gilbert?
Throw Gilbert. I know
he's fighting Jack Della, isn't he?
Gilbert is, yeah.
I mean, You probably shouldn't have him fight down, but I mean, Sean Brady's 2 below him. Colby?
I think Colby. Colby's probably there. Yeah. Colby probably doesn't want to do that. I mean, especially, after that performance, but he doesn't want to do it because, if he loses that, then he's definitely not going to be reaching the title ever again.
I mean, maybe Usman is a possibility, I guess, but
is Usman staying up at 70?
Yeah, at
85.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, it is a little bit jammed up there. I mean, maybe if Gilbert gets by Jack Della, you could probably do that for Shavkat.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. There's a couple options. I just don't think I think Gilbert or Bilal needs it. I mean, Bilal fought Leon before, and it was a fucking eye poke that ended it. So, it's like there's some unfinished business there. Like, let's.
Yeah. The only argument was I don't think a whole lot of people, that fight wasn't very exciting, even though, it wasn't very long or so, but people weren't, I just don't, obviously I don't think Bilal's a huge pull, or anything like that. I like Leon. I like Leon a lot. That guy can bang. That guy knows what he's doing. That guy is legit. And even after the fight, he was pretty classy and still got his point across, did his thing. But I just think that I don't know who I see.
Like, I know the UFC is all about like the money and the numbers and all that shit, but it's like I feel like, I mean, look at Usman and Leon. They fucked them for a while, and then at some point they're like, okay, this guy, we gotta, like, eventually deserving it will matter. You know what I mean? With Usman, he deserved it for a while. Then they finally gave him the shot. Leon deserved it for a long time, and they finally gave him the shot. I feel like we're to the point where Bilal has deserved it for long enough that they just need to do it. I mean, you can't just fuck the guy forever.
Yeah, I mean, Leon did say that he doesn't believe Bilal should get a title shot next. He says he hasn't earned it. He's like, I went on a 12-fight streak and just didn't get a shot. So
yeah, but nobody in his division's on a 12-fight streak.
Yeah,
so it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's where it comes into dollar bills and stuff. That's why people get jumped all the time.
Yeah,
that's why Colby probably got arguably a lot of people are saying an undeserved title shot, a third one.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I want to see Bilal, but again, UFC is not always about what is right. So
yeah. Yeah.
Anything else on the Wonder Boy Shavkat fight?
No, it kind of went like as expected, really. I mean, I love Wonder Boy, but I think it's come kind of past him now, and it sucks, but it's just part of it, part of the game, and he's still top level fighter in the world, but I just don't think he's there in that top echelon anymore, or at least has it to be up in there.
It's a tough division for us, especially for a striker. I mean, It's a very wrestle heavy division right now. It kind of has been for a long time. So it's just tough for him. Pantoja beats Brandon Royval decision this time, not a sub, but really just, I mean, he put himself in some hairy situations, but that guy just, he's going to out scramble anybody on the planet.
Yeah.
And he's as durable as they come. I mean, that's all there is to it.
It's crazy to see a guy that looks like he's dying. Looks like he if he gets hit again, he's going down. Just from pure exhaustion, but just keeps ticking, keeps going, keeps moving, and keeps putting the pace on you.
Yeah.
And Royval, looked great too. Like his cardio was insane too. I mean, he was keeping up, but he just the skill level I think is completely different. I think Pantoja. It was almost to me. I was even when we were watching the fight telling Dylan, I was like, to me it looks like Pantoja knows I'm better than you.
Yeah. So
he kind of took the risk. Like, I know I can be in these situations, and you're not going to be able to finish me. You're not going to get me. I'm going to impose my will on you. And he essentially did. I mean, he had times where Royval did survive, when Pantoja is all over his back.
Mm-hmm.
And he just fought him off, Pantoja just kept going and going and going. That guy, I don't know. I became more and more of a fan. I mean, even after, I don't think it was going to be they were going to replicate that Moreno fight with him, that third one they had. Or fourth one, I should say, right?
Third, I think. Yeah.
Third? Yeah, the third fight they had, that was one of the best fights we've ever seen in that division. And I just think that he's I think he's gonna be champ for a while. And Moreno's gonna have to, unless Moreno comes back out there and takes it.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, the worry I have for Pantoja is just how long can he rely on that durability?
True.
He's an elite grappler, and that's never going to go away. But I think he's going to need to make some adjustments as he gets older and fight a little different, because he's willing to bang it out. And I know they're flyweights, so they're not, it's not Alonzo Menifield, but he gets hit plenty.
Oh, for sure. And I just, who knows how long it's gonna. With those guys, they tend to last a little bit longer with being able to take those shots, because they're the lighter weight class. They're not inflicting that amount of damage on each other like that. So I don't know. I think the only person I see beating him is Moreno. Obviously, he's lost 3 times to him, but right now I just see Moreno going up there, unless we see something different.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about after we talk about the main event. We're going to talk about, because Moreno's fighting Albazi next, so we'll talk about who we think deserves the next shot at Pantoja. Anything else there?
No, I think I picked Pantoja. I kind of expected it, and I was actually surprised by Royval and him being able to endure the storm and not get finished. But it's exactly what I expected to go.
Yeah. All right, main event. Kind of just, I mean, the worst performance on the card.
Yeah, it's
what was Colby doing?
I don't know. I kept saying he has to be hurt. I couldn't fathom. I couldn't articulate into words what was going on. I was just kept looking at Dylan and Seth like, why is he backing up? Like, and it wasn't like Leon was putting on an intense amount of pressure. Sure, he's kind of backing him up a little bit, but fighters try to do that to Colby all the time, and Colby pushes the pace. Go forward. He didn't even attempt a takedown until I think the end of the first, almost the end of the first, before he actually tried to. He didn't even get it. He kind of tried to pick a leg or an ankle.
I think on that first takedown, like it looked like his leg was kind of fucked up already.
Yeah,
and so he couldn't like turn the corner to get him like back down. It seemed like the leg was bothering him already, but it's just I mentioned in the preview that like Kamaru fought at Leon's pace with, as far as just, we're just going to have a like patient striking battle.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured Colby wasn't going to do that. Not only did he do that, but what Kamaru did was he was the one going forward a lot against Leon. Leon was backing up a lot, and Leon, he's good at fighting off the back foot.
For sure.
I thought, no way in hell is Colby not going to go forward. And not only did he not go forward, he was going backwards the whole fight.
Oh, the whole fight, and letting him tee off and pick him apart.
I just don't.
Off. And if he did, he was lunging and then get caught. Leon is a hell of a counter striker.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anytime Colby did do a lunging punch or something, reach out over his toes and just get cracked, and he caught him with a left hook several times.
I feel like Colby, either he thought he was a better striker than he is, or he just thought Leon was worse than he is. I don't know, because he just was so patient, ate the low kicks, and then once he said, "Oh fuck, my leg hurts, I need to start going forward," it's like
it's too late.
He was so worried. Like, you could tell he like wasn't sure what was coming. Like, he's like, I got to go forward, but I'm getting cracked on the way in, and it you could just see it all over his face. He's like, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, and he chalked it up to maybe some ring rust, which I'm sure there was some, but still, like it just didn't make any sense. Like, and when he did start taking Leon down or trying to, I think he was like 2 for 12 or 3 for 10 or something like that on takedowns. Wasn't very good at all.
2 for 10.
Yeah, I mean, and he didn't start until really the third round. And he's already down 2 rounds. And then the third round where he did much better when he started putting pressure on and trying to get Leon. Well, guess what? Leon took him down like effortlessly.
Leon was 2 for 3 on takedowns.
Yeah, effortlessly. It didn't make sense. It was blowing my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening here? That's why I was thinking Colby's hurt. Something's going on. Like he wasn't going to come out and say cancel the fight because he's hurt.
I don't
something, but it chalked it up to just he thought he did enough, and I'm like, in what world did you think you did enough? The third was a toss up. You might have won the fourth and fifth, maybe.
You didn't do what you were good at.
Yeah,
like
you weren't.
That's what I'm not understanding. Is like obviously Colby's the one in there, and so obviously most of the blame, if you want to call it that. That's kind of a weird word, but it's on him. But also it's like, what is the game plan? Like what did they like? How did his coaches let him go in there with a striking heavy game plan? If that was the game plan, because that's what it seemed like. It was, he wanted to just strike with him. Yeah, he was probably like ring rust. They probably were like, okay, you're going to be a little rusty. Let's strike with him early and like kind of get the timing back. And then, but it's like, I just don't understand that game plan, because it's like, if you're his coach, you got to know that your fighter is levels below the other guy.
Yeah. When it comes to striking, yes. Like there's I don't understand how you go into that game plan thinking we're going to stand and strike with Leon Edwards. We're a wrestler though. And we're going to stand and strike because, maybe he got in his head. Yeah, I stood and struck with Kamaru Usman, but guess what? Usman's a wrestler too. That's why. Can't take him down.
And he beat him.
Yeah, and you got beat. It just doesn't make sense. Like, let's try and wrestle these guys. And it just seemed like he seemed so timid, was like you said, unsure of what's coming, how to enter in, and without getting cracked too much. Like he didn't want to take a chance of getting in.
Yeah.
Even towards the end of the fight, where in my brain I was like, you're down. You have to finish this.
Yeah.
After the third, I thought he lost the third, even though it was the closer round. Like he thought he won 3, 4, 5. I don't understand how you definitively thought that you won 3 rounds there.
No
maybe you won the fourth and fifth. Maybe, let's say that, but it wasn't like a definitive. You won those rounds. It was close, but I thought Colby might have won 1 or 2 rounds at the end. But the third round, you can't go into the fourth and fifth thinking, "Oh, we got this." No, the third round's too close. You got taken down after you took him down.
And the low kicks, like, really were a big issue, I think.
Yeah.
Not only was he rusty, but he's just within 2 minutes, he's already feeling that leg.
Uh-huh.
And he kept switching. He did this even before he started getting killed with low kicks. He was trying to kind of fight orthodox a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think to try to, because obviously Leon's a southpaw. I think he wanted open stance so he doesn't get the outside of that lead leg smashed. But he would, every time he'd switch to orthodox for a second, Leon would go orthodox.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that threat's still there. And so I think the fact that Leon wasn't just staying in southpaw the whole time really threw Colby off.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously then the low kicks immediately started adding up.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the confidence to enter, to like, I got to go and get in the pocket and start banging, I think that all went out the window when he realized that I can't really shoot a takedown with any sort of explosivity because my leg is completely compromised.
Oh yeah, there's times where even though he shot for a takedown at range, we've seen Colby land those, but he did not look. It's like you said, the explosivity was gone. His legs already chewed up. Like, it's too late. You should have been doing this first round. Should have been going after him. And I think just, I don't know, man. It made me like I've been a big fan of Colby and all that, but it made me like I don't know, question not everything, but just like what are we doing? And then to proceed after the fight, this was the easiest fight of my career. I didn't take any damage, and then I'm like, why are you limping everywhere? You can barely fucking walk. You're icing your legs. You. And then he went on to, did the whole Trump thing. Cool, get it. That's your shtick. That's your thing you're trying to do, and more power to you. But hey, we got to win fights. Take 2-year layoffs. I know you had the whole fucking Jorge thing. Getting sucker punched in the whole lawsuit shit. You can't do much when you got a lawsuit going on. But fuck, like
he's running out of time.
Oh yeah, like this very well could be the last time you get the title fight.
He's 35 years old.
Yeah, this could be the last time unless he comes out and say he fights Shavkat. They give Bilal the shot, fight Shavkat and beat Shavkat. Then what?
That's just, I mean, I know that's not what we're here to talk about, but that's just such a horrific matchup for him. I mean that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's going to go out and beat Shavkat. I mean, who's going to think? Yeah, like who's going to think if they match up Colby and Shavkat? Do you think Colby's going to be the favorite there? Absolutely not.
No.
It's not. And it's not going to be good. And if you lose a Shavkat, definitely there's no title run. It's over. You're going down. You're fighting. You're going to be a run of the mill kind of gatekeeper. You're going. Especially that's if he wants to stay and fight.
I was to say I just can't. He's painted himself into a corner now where he's just. I don't see how he could ever be the number 10 guy and be active.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna. Well, two things. His legacy is, in my opinion, is always going to be based on the talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to. Nobody's going to really. I mean, especially after this, like, yeah, the Usman fight was a good fight and like kind of a war, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one, but it's like nobody's going to talk about the RDA win or the Woodley, I guess, or Jorge. I guess Jorge maybe just for the trash talk, but it's his legacy's nevertheless. It's only going to be like this guy who talked a lot, and that's what people are going to remember him as.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's all downhill from here. Like I don't see how he ever gets back up there. I could, and second thing, I could see him if the UFC starts offering him like lower top 10 guys at welterweight. I could see him trying to do some sort of hype train of him going up to 85 to fight somebody up there or something. Like he's going to try to find a way to stay as relevant as possible.
Yeah, and
whether it's at welterweight or at 85. Yeah,
I don't know if he could do that. Going up to 85. I don't think it goes well for him.
Big dudes. Yeah, he's a small welterweight. I mean, I guess maybe he drops down, but I don't see that either. Really.
At that age and stuff, you're still going to go fight some killers down there, but still.
I mean, 85. I mean, now 85's of kind of a striking heavy weight class, or well, it has been over the last few years. Obviously, you got like Khamzat up there now, but. I mean, Strickland, Izzy, Dricus, Whitaker, Cannonier, Vittori, Costa. I just can't picture Colby in there with those guys, but he's going to try. I mean, he's going to try to stay up in the title pictures one way or another.
Yeah, he'll do something. At least try to keep himself relevant in the fact of at least in the headlines and stuff like that, and try and find a big payday somewhere.
Yeah. Whether
it is, okay, I'll go up there. Marty couldn't beat Khamzat, put me against him. And then he goes up there. I don't know how that goes against Khamzat. I don't think it goes that well.
Especially a 185-pound Khamzat. That's tougher. I mean,
he's a monster. Obviously, Khamzat's question is his cardio, but Khamzat's a better striker than Colby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's bigger, stronger, younger. Just – I don't know. It sucks for Colby because, I mean, got a lot of fans. I've been a fan of him, but something I don't know. It rubbed me wrong after watching that performance, and then to still keep your. I know, understand being true to yourself, but I mean, obviously we don't know him, face to face, on a personal level, but you can't do your whole act that you're doing and then fight every 2 years and act and lose in a fashion, especially that fight. The way you fought, it was honestly, it was kind of pitiful. It put a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't like it. Um, I props to Leon. The only thing I thought with Leon was I thought he was going to do more. Like the way Colby was fighting, I was like, why isn't Dylan even said this a couple times. Why isn't he doing more? It felt like, dude, he feels weird. This isn't the Colby you're used to. Maybe that threw him off, or you were used to seeing, I should say. And like, why aren't you feel like you should be picking him apart right now? And he landed a couple things. He landed a good head kick on him off the cage when they separated. But I mean, and he cracked him a couple times with the left.
And that's always kind of been Leon. I mean, it's just very patient, yes, but very low output. I mean, he's surgical, and he's a great striker, but he's never been high volume. He's always, he waits and waits and waits and is patient, and it works. But yeah, I mean, Colby, he can't fucking move. He can't take you down. He's just running in there, throwing dumb shit over the top. I mean, knock him out, or hurt him really bad. Especially, you would think if anything is going to get Leon to fucking let him rip, it would be this whole build up to this fight.
Oh yeah, especially definitely all the things Colby said, and Leon did say after the fight that he was still mad and everything, but his coaches helped kind of calm him down and kind of turn it into a more calculated aggression than just going out there crazy.
Yeah,
because who knows? Obviously, if Leon would have came out there crazy, I mean, Colby's got some power, but he's not. I don't know if he's got Leon power either, and obviously he's not as technical as a striker. But I don't know. I just thought Leon did. I mean, he pretty much dominated the fight. I mean, picked him apart, tore his leg up. I just, for some reason, thought Leon was going to do more, especially after what we were watching. Like, just live watching it right there in front of us, I was like, I feel like Leon's not capitalizing on, like, Colby's. This isn't Colby. This is weird. I don't know if it was just a more of a respect thing or if it was just the Leon we're used to seeing, the calculated, wait for you to make a mistake, I'm going to crack you when, that mistake comes along.
I thought Leon was going to knock him out with a head kick. I mean, he tenderized the leg.
Oh yeah,
Colby was trying to check the low kicks. I thought he was going to go upstairs and knock him out with a head kick.
Yeah, I said it a couple times. I was like, he's going to go up top. Watch, he's chopped that leg down. It's nothing. And there's a couple times you can see like Colby would try to go to catch a leg. A couple times I'm like, he's going to send this. It was like at the end of the round, Leon threw two like feints with the leg kick, and Colby went down to kind of grab it. And I'm like, at the beginning of this next round, he's going to throw a head kick. And he never did. Like, never did except for that right at the cage. And I think that was at maybe the third. After they took each other down and got back up against the cage and separated, he threw a head kick that kind of landed. But
yeah, he's okay with cruising. I mean, we're kind of being hard on him right now. He won the fight easily, but he can cruise a little bit.
Oh yeah, he's a champ,
and
got to beat the champ.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk a little bit real quick about some of these main card guys, the winners at least. What's next for them? I mean, let's go back to Emmett. Emmett, obviously, he's been through the ringer. I mean, he's kind of fought everybody. Top of that division, obviously, Volk, Max, who Emmett's never fought. Yair, who he has. Never fought Ortega, I don't believe.
I don't think so either.
Never fought Arnold Allen. And obviously he's fought Taporia, and then it's him. So do they do him and Giga again? Or was that too impressive of a win because Giga's 2 spots behind him.
I don't know. I could see them matching them up again because, I mean, he did beat Bryce, but it was on a short notice,
Yeah.
And Bryce isn't a striker. He can throw against Giga. I think they can do that again.
I mean, the only guy ahead of him that isn't booked is Arnold Allen. Yair is booked against Ortega. Well, I guess Max. Is Max? He's not booked yet, right?
No.
So, maybe Max. Max needs anybody who he hasn't fought. So, I think that actually makes sense. Arnold Allen, I don't. He's okay with not fighting.
Yeah.
So they may just skip over him and put Emmett straight up there with Max. I think that makes sense.
It's possible, yeah. We could do that. I wouldn't mind watching Emmett and Arnold Allen fight, but
yeah.
If he wants to do that, I don't know.
I mean, Emmett or Allen, he should be ready after Kansas City, fucking however many months ago now.
Yeah. He should be. He's probably waiting for. I mean, he did get dropped there by Max at the end of the round or end of the fight, but and he had Max hurt too. But I think he's just young, green still, and putting him against Emmett. He's going against Kelleher, and Arnold's got some hands too, but Arnold lets himself get hit sometimes, puts himself in some hairy situations.
I feel like I do like that matchup for Arnold a little bit, just because the youth, the speed, he's a good boxer, and he's gonna definitely match Emmett in the physicality department too. But
for sure,
it's tough. I mean, like we've found out time and time again, it just takes one for Emmett. So
definitely,
Paddy. What's next for Paddy? I mean, have people been throwing names out? I haven't really heard a whole lot.
I haven't heard a whole lot on somebody bigger name, but I think you beat Tony, pretty convincingly. You go out there, you can throw him a bigger name. I'm not saying he's going straight to the top, but
so Paddy's obviously he's not in the top 15 yet, but I mean the bottom end of that top 15 is tough. I mean it's starting at 15, Dober, Bobby Green, Moicano, Saint Denis. I did see somebody on Instagram posted like next for all the winners, I think, on this pay-per-view. And they had Paddy Pimblett versus Benoit Saint Denis.
Oh.
And I was like,
I
don't like that.
That's not good for Paddy.
No.
Honestly, I can see him fighting Bobby Green.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice little matchup. Bobby's coming off that loss from Jalen Turner getting knocked out. Obviously, I think he probably should take some time off.
Right.
Depends on how much time Paddy's wanting to take off.
Is Dober is he booked right now?
I don't think so. His last loss is for Vola, right?
Yeah. He beat Ricky Glenn.
Oh, Ricky Glenn.
I don't think he's booked right now. He's 15. I mean, I don't know if the UFC is going to want, they're probably going to want a bigger name like a Bobby Green for Paddy next, or RDA maybe.
You do that
at 11. It's probably going to be another older guy probably.
There was talk. Pat, now that you said RDA did say that he could beat, because RDA is booked to fight. Who's he booked to fight?
Gamrot.
And RDA was tweeting at Paddy saying, "Oh, I would finish this guy. Let me fight him." And Paddy was like, "You're booked to fight Gamrot. Why are you worrying about me, you idiot?"
Yeah, I mean, I guess because Paddy, he said he wants to take some time off for his kids being born, his twins. So I guess if RDA, he's going to lose the Gamrot.
Yeah.
Let's just call a spade a spade. If he loses to RDA in a way that he's not fucked up, then maybe you turn him around and have him fight Paddy.
Yeah, you could do that and make a nice little jump.
They just can't. The UFC, they're not going to give him Saint Denis because they don't want him to lose. I mean,
no, they don't. And Saint Denis, I mean, that guy's a killer.
And he can grapple. He's a good grappler too.
Oh yeah.
So
special forces, man.
Yeah, I think give him Bobby Green or RDA next. I think.
Yeah, I think those are two pretty good matchups.
Uh,
Depending on what Ariane and Garbrandt, how that goes. But
yeah.
let's face it,
he's not going to get banged up too bad, I don't think. Shavkat, we kind of already talked about this, but like I said, to cap it off, I mean, I think you give him one more, give him Colby or Usman, or if you have to, I don't know if you'd want to do Sean Brady because that's kind of two young guys that they like fighting each other. I don't know, but you give Bilal the shot, or maybe you just make Shavkat wait.
You could. I mean, they seem to find their guys. They like to sit there and make weight. So
now, knowing Leon, he's gonna be waiting a while for Leon to fight Bilal. It'll be into next year probably or something. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I personally don't want him next for the belt, but his next fight can be for the belt. Yeah, I just don't want him to fight for the belt next, personally.
Yeah. Who knows, dude? I mean, the kid's impressive. The guy's, I mean, he's a freak. He can do. I mean, he can strike. He's got power, but obviously his bread and butter is grappling and getting you down and beating you up and finishing you. So
yeah,
honestly, I could see the UFC kind of being like, all right, Colby, this is where we're at. This is what we got. I know you don't like it. And Colby could be like, fuck you, I'll just wait. And they're like, for what?
Yeah.
It ain't going to be a title shot.
No. There's nobody in the whole division, I don't think, that he's beat.
Yeah. No, I just think that how I could see it playing out is, say, Bilal Leon fight. Leon beats Bilal.
Shavkat.
They're like, okay, Shavkat, you beat Colby, you get the title. Make it a title eliminator fight. And Colby, if you beat Shavkat, you get it after Bilal.
Yeah. Or if Leon wants to wait, you do Bilal Shavkat title eliminator now.
You could do that.
Because Leon, he likes to wait.
That would fuck Bilal too.
Yeah.
He'd be like, wait a minute, you told me I was fighting for the belt, but now I got to fight another.
He'd be like, but Leon's not ready, and here's an interim belt. That's what they're doing.
Here's an interim belt against a guy who's 18-0.
We'll pay you. We'll give you an extra $100.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the it's kind of wide open for Shavkat, but it's kind of not at the same time. He's number 5. He just beat number 6. I mean, you can't really fight him down. So we'll see. Pantoja, I think the very obvious next for him is the winner of Albazi Moreno. And I just don't think anybody else is close.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
I mean, it's Royval 2, well, 3, Kai, Nicolau, who Royval just knocked out. Manel Kopp's the only other one.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming off some impressive wins and coming out and winning, but I think, I don't know. I'm such a big Moreno fan, dude. I just think that him and Pantoja are such. I mean, Albazi's good.
I like Albazi.
Yeah, he's good, and that's going to be a tough fight for Moreno. But I don't know. I want him to get over that hump and beat Pantoja. Just like damn. Yeah. But it's very possible. That last one was a toss-up. He split decision. I could have gone either way. I wasn't mad at the decision or anything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been mad either way. But obviously, I'm just a bigger Moreno fan, so obviously I want to see him be successful.
I am too, but I kind of just think Pantoja's got his number.
Yeah, and we've seen it. People got each other's number. But just like with Izzy, Pereira's got his number, but he got him that one time.
Fourth time. 4 times the charm.
4 times the charm. You never know. MMA math, dude.
All right. We kind of obviously already covered every square inch of this, but Leon, it's probably Bilal next for him.
Yeah.
Or Shavkat. And
either one of those two, but anybody else doesn't make sense. And
it kind of goes the same way for Colby.
Yeah.
Shavkat, maybe they have him piss Bilal off enough to make Bilal want to fight him. I don't know. yeah, I'm just not seeing a world where Colby is fighting like Jeff Neal or Luque or Ian Gary. I mean, maybe Ian Gary now. That maybe.
I guess Ian Gary's the only guy that's going to jump to the top like that. And
yeah, now he's booked against Jeff Neal, so they can't do it yet. But maybe if he gets by Jeff Neal, maybe you do that. But that's there's some steps that have to happen before that, so it's hard to say.
For Colby to get another title shot, he's going to have to fight one of these killers.
Yeah,
whether it be Bilal, Shavkat, or Ian Gary if he wins.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, here Luque was supposed to fight Ian Gary. Now he's not booked.
Yeah, they were. I know why they didn't do the whole Kevin Holland short notice, because Kevin Holland's fighting MVP. You know, obviously they're not going to miss out on that. So
maybe you can, if Colby wants to turn around quick, maybe you can do him and Luque.
You could do that.
Luque's number 9. I don't know. Colby's not going to love that number, but
yeah, it's a big drop. But Luque's older, and I think been in a little bit more wars, and I think we might know how that one goes. But
yeah,
also we thought Colby was going to do something in this fight, and it could be more credit to Leon. Obviously we haven't been the greatest Leon fans, so but I've become a bigger fan of Leon as of late, just with he's a classy dude. And, I love the headshot dead shit. That shit's awesome.
He's a phenomenal striker.
Oh, he's crisp as fuck. Training videos, those are awesome to watch. Him fighting, that's nuts.
The Nate fight comes to mind as soon as I'm going to say this, but you very rarely see him ever get in a bad spot in there. I mean, as much as getting hit hard, you don't hardly see that. He's always in control. Part of that is the range and the patience and all that too. I think I would love to see him let his strikes go a little more, but that doesn't change the fact that he's hard to hit. You don't ever take him down hardly. Nobody ever hurts him really bad. I mean, he's always in control.
Yeah, he's a stud, dude, and I'm becoming a bigger fan of him as time goes by.
Yeah. Well, you got any more thoughts or anything else you want to talk about on this card?
It was like we said earlier, it was kind of lackluster, for the last card of the year.
Yeah.
We've got some banger cards to start the year off next, and then of course those rumors of 300. I know I shared with you. I sent you that little poster made that I guess Dana announced that Bo Nickel's going to be the first prelim.
Yeah,
which that's kind of crazy.
I'm really interested to see who that's against, because even though it is 300, I'm assuming it's probably not a big name, big name, because it's the first prelim.
Yeah, and the reason why Dana said you're going to be shocked to he's on the first prelim is because Bo Nickel's fought on the main card since he started.
Yeah,
he's a big name already. So they're like, oh, why is he the first prelim? Well, of course, it's not like he was putting, Volk on the first prelim and then stacking nothing but a whole card full of championship fights. It doesn't, I don't know. They may surprise me. Dana might throw in, next we have a whole main card, 5 championship fights. And
I mean, it's going to be big.
Yeah.
But it's just, now obviously everyone wants to be on 300, but it's always tough to get all the big fights booked with all the, I want this. And now again, big card. So it's easy to say hey, this is 300, you should fight so-and-so, but it's still, the timing's always, people are like, I'm not ready. And so I don't know. I hope it's not a UFC 200 thing where everything just falls apart and they bring Brock Lesnar in there to save it and all that. But I don't know. It'll definitely be interesting to see who Bo Nickel fights, and then obviously who else is on there. I could see Leon being on there, or them trying to get Leon on there.
You could see it and kind of turning him around pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, he went unscathed this fight, so there's no reason why he shouldn't.
Yeah.
But that's not Leon. Leon might be taking his time.
Yeah, Paddy mentioned that there's a Manchester card. I can't remember what later on. I don't know, later on next year. So I maybe Leon was like, no, I'll just do that instead. I don't know.
Yeah.
But all right. I think I think that's it.
Yeah, not too bad of a card, not too not the the funnest card we've watched, or the most exciting card we've watched this year, but there's still some good fights, obviously some big names on there, but it's still fun to watch.
I think it's like it's like a bridge contract, it's like we had to have this happen to set up a lot more exciting shit in the future.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for the future. Exactly. The beginning of next year's those the 297, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's stacked as shit. I think O'Malley's on there.
I think that's 299, I think.
Or is that 299?
297 Strickland and Duplessis.
Oh, that one's a stacked one too, I think.
Yeah. 299 is Sean and Cheeto.
Okay, maybe I think I'm mixed up.
Gilbert, Jack Della, Blades, Almeida, Gamrot, RDA, Song, and Jan.
Yeah, that one's a stacked one.
Yeah, they're all good though. They're gonna be fun.
Yeah. No, obviously, we're always good. We're gonna tune in either way.
Yeah.
They're gonna be good.
Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate you guys watching. And hit like and subscribe at HOR Podcast on Instagram, at Hungover Handwrite on TikTok, and leave us a comment on your thoughts on anything we talked about on this whole thing.
Do it.
What's next? Do you like Leon? Do you like Colby? Do you like either of them more or less now that they went through this whole fight
give
week?
us your thoughts. Are you still fans? Are you not a fan anymore? Let us know. Either way.
All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Later.